Hi, everyone. As you may know, in July of 2018, some of my hypnosis clients, while in hypnosis, began to channel. Today, 29 months later, there are 33 of these channelers, and this podcast features one of them. Now, if you don't know what channeling is, check my website at www.peterhdennis.com and click on the channeling tab. You can also see lots about channeling on YouTube. Now today my guest is Terri Rainier, and Terri channels the Divine Realm. After I ask Terri a couple of questions about herself, she will then go into the altered state of consciousness where she can connect with the Divine Realm, and I will then direct some questions to them. So Terri, welcome to the podcast.
Well, hi, Peter. It's great to be here with you.
Good. Terri, I know our audience would like to know a little about you. Can you fill us in a little on some of your background, please?
Sure. I feel like I've lived two very different lives in this human body known as Terri. I have over 20 years experience in supply chain management, mostly in the aerospace industry. And then I have another nearly 20 years of experience in the wellness industry. I started off as a massage therapist and studied craniosacral therapy and energy medicine and became a life coach. And it's been quite a journey, this thing we called life.
Mm-hmm.
So I've enjoyed it all. I guess by most measures, people would consider me to be living a conventional life. And yet I travel amongst the stars and other galaxies and other planets and channel the divine realm, and it's all fascinating, all of it.
Yeah, it's interesting how people come from different backgrounds and some of them not outlandishly spiritual or anything. They just come at it from all kinds of occupations and walks of life. Fascinating.
I've always had an interest in the spiritual world, and I was raised Catholic, and a nun once asked me, we were talking about the creation, and I was like, oh, who created God? And she was like, well, we don't ask those questions. Yeah, we'll just leave it to that. As I got into my adult years, I started exploring more esoteric, metaphysical versions of what is God and what other beings are out there beyond planet Earth.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, now you're channeling a very high vibrational group. How has that affected your life?
It's helped me to be more clear and calm, have more peace. I've been able to observe situations in my life from a different perspective, almost like kind of a witness perspective, be more objective about my behaviors or how I'm interacting with others, having better relationships with others as well. They've helped me quite a bit, both my connection with the divine realm and my experiences with other intergalactic beings.
Excellent. Well, Terri, I'm going to give you a couple minutes to go into that altered state that you do and bring forward the divine realm.
Hey. Hello, Peter.
Hello, divine realm, and welcome to our podcast.
We are pleased to be here.
Good. Now, our audience, I'm sure, probably has no idea what the divine realm is. Would you give us a little background and just inform us in some general terms of who you are and why you're here with us today?
Yes, we are pleased to be here. We are the realm that is prior to creation. We are the realm from which all creation arises. The space of infinite possibilities. The space of pure potentiality. From this space, this divine realm, divine light, divine sound, divine elements arise to be utilized for creative purposes, to create planets and beings across the many universes. We are here to remind all of creation that they are one, that they are whole and part of the omniverse. Each being is part of that whole. Each being is a creation of divine light, divine love, divine elements.
Is it fair to say that you are really the creators of all that is?
We are the realm from which all creation arises. Therefore, as each creation arises, it has the ability to continue to create its own experiences. We provide the raw materials for which creation is created.
Now you're channeling through Terri. Why did you pick her?
She has been open and curious throughout her lifetime. She has not always been cooperative, but since 2017, she has been more open to allowing us to share through her in a very deliberate way. We are grateful that she is open and willing to share our messages. There are many that we share our messages through. She is not the only one.
Okay. And when you share your messages, you share them through other humans, but do you also share them through civilizations in other, say, star systems or universes?
Oh, yes. We are reminding all of the universe and galaxies and planets and beings that they are part of the wholeness from which creation arises. To remember that that oneness is that area that they need to remember in their co-creation process, that they have become so separated and isolated that they have forgotten about the wholeness and oneness. So we are reminding all that they are part of one.
It seems to me there are more humans channeling these days. Is that how you see it from your perspective?
Yes.
What is the reason for that?
It is time for people to be awakened, for all beings to be awakened to the oneness and wholeness from which they come. There has been many eons of experimentation of separateness, and it is time for them to remember the wholeness and to consciously co-create their lives. Remembering the wholeness.
Mm-hmm. Can you give an example of how humans live with separateness and how that may change to waking up to the wholeness?
Yes, many humans live their lives thinking that their life is just about themselves, that they must provide for themselves and for their families and for their community, and they think they have to do it all on their own. We're reminding them that they can co-create with divine light and divine love in this same process from a place of wholeness, that it's not just about their family and their community. It's about all of the beings as their family, all of the communities as one community.
Now, as there are more humans channeling, would it be fair to say there are more off-planet civilizations and groups like yourself who are also working with humans more today than, say, in the past?
Yes, the veil is very thin now. There was a time when Earth needed to be an experiment of just itself. It's an intergalactic experiment where many planets sent seeds to develop planet Earth. And it was common amongst the intergalactic community to keep hands off and let the experiment occur without interference. And what occurred initially was very beautiful. And then more and more separation happened, and more people lost their memory of the wholeness from which they came. Amongst the intergalactic community, there has been an agreement that help can now be sent to the beings of planet Earth to help remind them.
How did those on planet Earth take that turn to engage more in separateness? And in a sense, it sounds like they kind of lost their way. What happened to bring that about?
When souls would die, they wouldn't go back to source. They kept hovering in spirit form and would then be reborn. This reoccurrence of many lifetimes of cycling through without going back to source before they re-entered another human or other being experience diluted the oneness and the wholeness from which they came.
Fascinating. Now, would you have at this time kind of an overall general message for all of humanity?
Yes, we want to encourage them to remember that they can co-create consciously with divine light, with divine love, and manifest a beautiful life, one that is stress-free, one that is joyful, full of gratitude and love and peace. These things don't exist outside of you. They exist within you. And when you allow that love to expand your heart and the gratitude to fill your life with joyful experiences and remembrances, then you truly have peace in your being. This peace in your being assists your physical wellness and your physical expression. Your emotions balance out. There's curiosity in your relationships, compassion with yourself and others, celebrations to be had.
Well, that's a wonderful message, and I thank you very much for it. It seems to me that humans may be moving in that direction. Is that the case as you see it?
Yes, indeed.
Good.
There is conflict on the planet, and that is only because there's internal conflict within each individual. And as they let go of the old way of thinking they have to do it all themselves and realizing that they can actually co-create with the divine, this transition will be much easier.
Mm-hmm. What's a simple singular thing that a human could do to bring about more peace to themselves internally and thus contribute to the whole of civilization?
Conscious breathing. So simple.
Well, we all do that naturally. So you're saying if we just carry on as we're doing, things will improve? Or is there something we can do to maybe accelerate that advancement?
Yes. So currently, the human race is unconscious in their creation, which is why separation occurred. The more conscious they can be in their creative process, the easier it will be to create the life that they want rather than the life that they feel they've been given through their unconscious creation. By bringing attention, conscious attention, to something that happens so naturally for you, your breathing, it will give you practice in how to consciously create.
Well, I notice our time is pretty much exhausted. I want to thank you very much for participating in this podcast and for giving us these messages. There's much to ponder here. And I know that Terri is keen to have you do some videos and bring some of these messages out to the public. So thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you, Peter, for having us. We are delighted to have shared our messages. Thank you.
Well, Terri, that was wonderful, and welcome back. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. It's always wonderful to connect with the divine realm.
Good. Well, Terri, if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
They can contact me via my email at Terri Rainier @gmail.com. So that is TerriRainier @gmail.com.
Good. Well, thank you for that. And thank you very much for being our guest today.
Thank you, Peter, for having me. It's been a joy.
Good. Well, folks, that's our podcast for today. If you enjoyed it and would like to listen to or download some others, you can do so by going to my website at www.peterhdennis.com and clicking on the channeling tab. Once there, scroll down to the channeler of your choice and click on the name or photo. A final point. I have recently started a Facebook group entitled The Channeling Connection. It's a group for channelers, for those curious about channeling, and for those who may want to become a channeler. Check it out. Join if you'd like. Ask a question, or if you have an opinion, contribute to the discussion. Well, that's it, folks. So long for now.